April of last year, they put £30 million into the business for a minority stake. And a year on, it's been a really successful partnership for us and has enabled us to get more healthy products out to more people faster. Press did have some fun with it, and certainly for some of our consumers, it's been a lot for them to get their heads around. But net a year on, it's been an absolutely kind of awesome decision and for the business. So that's our kind of journey over the last sort of 10 years. Kind of sets the scene for maybe some of the things that we've learned along the way. So what's the first one? A kind of first thought is there's a time and a place to be entrepreneurial, and that place is everywhere you can get the opportunity, anywhere you can perfect those skills and give it a go. My kind of entrepreneurial career started back when I was 4, so I'm told by my mum. I was trying to sell rocks outside the front door of our house. Didn't go very well. It turns out not many people want to buy rocks. And so there was a lesson there that certainly what you sell has to be something that consumers want. By the time I got to school age 12, I'd worked out that what people wanted, but unfortunately the things I was trying to sell I really shouldn't have been, and that got me into a bit of trouble. By the age of 16, it was a photographic business, so taking photos of people in plays and sports fields and then selling them the photos and the prints, and sort of beginning to earn my beer money that way. Grew into the design business at college, and then sort of when I started at Bain, it was about running sort of little music festivals in London with Rich and Adam. And so kind of all the way along, I've never really thought of myself as a kind of entrepreneur, but you kind of reflect back on your life and you kind of see all these little things where you're beginning to test different ideas and different ways of earning money. And so age 26, it was with Rich and Adam that we set up Innocent. Big thought is about really having a purpose about what you want to do with your business, why you're here. We knew that when we set up Innocent, it was all about doing something that would make it a little bit easier to do yourself some good, something tasty and healthy, and that we had a real problem with our diets and kind of what we were eating. It was pretty kind of clear from everything that was going on in the press that we weren't the only people who weren't putting the best stuff into our bodies, and so there was a real mission here. There's a real purpose that if we can make good, healthy food that tastes good and people want to eat, then we know exactly what we're doing, and we can judge the products we make by that, the way we communicate. All of it is about delivering on the purpose of making food good and doing the best we can. And you have to do that. I think as an entrepreneur, you naturally think of so many different ideas and opportunities. And I kind of speak to so many other people who are kind of starting businesses, and the real temptation is to get drawn in so many different areas because you have all these great ideas. But what you've got to do is have one single thought that allows you to stick to the main thing that you're all about and align everything else behind that. If you get it right, everybody knows what you're about. This is a company in America that makes baskets. Right, and this is their head office. So you turn up at their office, on Monday morning, and as you walk towards it, it's pretty clear what your company's all about, what its main purpose is. It's to make the best bloody baskets it can. So all the way through. Here's another company from the same country. Slightly kind of less aligned in terms of what their purpose is. So. Definitely worth being clear because it just helps you get absolutely everything right and aligned. So have a big purpose. Know what you're there to do. Third thought, it's about the people. And I think anybody who runs any kind of company or anything will always say this. And yet you have to say it. And you have to keep relearning it because it's the thing you realise every time you reflect on a good year or a bad year running a company, that if it's gone well, it's because you have the right people doing the right things, and if things went wrong, it's invariably because you had the wrong people doing the wrong things. In fact, summed up brilliantly by a chap who's the head of talent at Apple, and this was his way of putting it. It's not only about the people you have on the bus, but it's about getting the people who aren't right off the bus. And it's a lesson that we kind of keep on learning. If we think about our European expansion and countries where we've done well versus countries where we haven't. France, largest chilled juice market in Europe. Really big opportunity, should be really easy. going quite tough. Holland, Dutch really get what innocent is all about. Brand really hooks there. Should be easygoing, quite tough. Austria really didn't expect things to work there. Business absolutely flying. Why are we flying in Austria? Because it's being run by a chap called Franz, who's absolutely awesome. It's all about getting great people in the best places, and when you don't, following what Dan Jacobs said, which is so true. Fourth thought: think really, really big. Be ambitious. Ultimately, at Innocent, we want to be the Earth's favourite little food and drinks company. We want to be global. We want to be in lots of different categories. Now, it may take us 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years to get there, but we've got these really big ambitions. And if you have those big ambitions, then at least you stand a chance of getting a little way of the way there. There's a chap called Jeremy Gilly. He's a documentary maker. And back in 1999, about the same time we were setting up Innocent, he had this thought about, wouldn't it be absolutely awesome if there was one day a year when everybody on the planet put down their guns, stopped flying their aircraft, and there was a global ceasefire across all the wars, all the battles that were raging across the planet. And he thought, that's a pretty huge thought. Why don't I make a documentary about seeing what it would be like trying to achieve that vision? By 2001, he got the United Nations to sign up to the fact that the 24th of September would be Peace One Day, and on that day that all United Nations members would lay down their arms for one day. So then 2008, for example, in Afghanistan on the 24th of September, there was no fighting. The United Nations Health Organization, doctors, medics could get into that country, could get access to all the people, were able to immunize 1.8 million children because there was no fighting going on that day. And because of one guy's really big, really ambitious thought, he's achieved something absolutely awesome. So if you have really big thoughts, it's absolutely incredible what you could ultimately achieve. But on the other hand, don't be afraid to start really, really small. When we launched Innocent, it was Adam in a van trundling up and down Ladbroke Grove, knocking on all the doors of anybody who would buy the product. We got one outlet, one customer on our first day signed up to buy our smoothies and kind of sold 20 bottles, and we've grown from that. We have a chap at Innocent called New Adam. The reason he's called New Adam is because he's newer than the Adam that I set up the business with. He gets great mail actually that says "Dear New," and we tried to explain to people he's called New Adam because he's newer than Adam. But anyway, ends in confusion. And anyway, New Adam had this thought. He said, "Look, what I'd love to do is really bring our one-shot bottles to life. Do something really engaging, and that's like putting little woolly knitted hats on them. And for every bottle that we sell that has a woolly knitted hat on it, we're going to give 50p to help the aged, to keep all the people healthy over winter." And we kind of said, well, that's great, New, but where are you going to get all these kind of woolly hats from? Are they going to come from China or something? He said, no, we're going to get all the grannies to knit all these hats and send these hats in to us, and then we're going to put the hats in the bottles, and those bottles are going to go to the shops, and then for every hat sold we'll give 50p, then we'll go back to the